Jazz, I mean, this was kind of a physical, early on a bit weird game, but you kind of, in every category, kind of showed out. I mean, 4 for 4 shooting, you kind of picked your shots, set a career high in blocks with 4, another double-double. What was working out there?
We had to get our energy up, and so we have big plays. I know the team gets really excited, so I tried to benefit from that and help out my teammates, and then also like throw my energy at them, and when they do something great, like it's just a back and forth type of thing, team effort.
Did you notice a lack of energy there in the first couple quarters?
I think the first half we came out kind of nonchalant and lackadaisical, but we definitely picked it up second quarter when she got into us a little bit. And then if they went on a few runs, we kept our composure, didn't lay down or anything, so that was really good.
How much did some of the on-court things kind of spark you there? I mean, it started to get a little physical, and of course you double tap.
Honestly, I like that. I think it's funny. Like, as bad as it sounds, but like, say stuff like that happens, like, I'm gonna ride for my team as they would ride for me. So at the end of the day, like, when stuff like that happens, just kind of be sarcastic about it. Keep playing your game, keep your composure, and at the end of the day, you're gonna get in their head. They're not in yours. So.
Did you think that kind of woke you up, or just fired up the team a little bit there?
Yeah, because we're all like, we play a very aggressive team. We weren't playing as aggressively as we were. They were bullying us in the first quarter, and like I said, Mox got into his second quarter, and we had to play our game, and that little dispute or whatever you want to call that happened. It like woke us up, got us fired up, wanted to play more, and yeah, woke up the dog in all of us.
What's Mox getting into it with you guys kind of like?
Just not being aggressive, letting them bully us in the paint, outside on the perimeter, not playing defense, and then once that happened, we did our thing.
What has been working for you guys? You know, you're 8-1, you've beat some really good teams, and you're ranked. So, like, what is it that you guys are just getting right now?
I mean, we're kind of all just, everyone has a role, and everyone brings different things to the table, and it could be anyone's night, so we don't have a specific person that the other opponent can, like, key in on. So, like, it could be Jasmine night, then it could be Maya and Willie, like, it could be a bunch of different people, so we all just bring different variety of skills.
For you, you had 2 big 3-pointers. Did it surprise you a bit on the other side to see Wichita State go 0 for 10 from distance?
Yeah, I actually did. Mox said that in Oklahoma they shot 12 threes. So to have them scoreless, 0%, I think that was really big for us.
Moving forward, you guys have Mizzou coming up. How bad do you just want to come out and get another win against, cross-state Missouri
Really
team?
Really bad. Want to represent, say this is our state.
Yep.
Everyone doesn't really try to acknowledge us. As you know, we were slept on pretty much this whole preseason, and then people are starting to see it, so we really want to go out there and represent.
How much are you guys using those rankings and everything? Because I see Mox sharing out some of that on social media. It seems like you guys are more embracing that instead of just saying it's a ranking. It seems like you guys are kind of using that for respect too.
Yeah, I would say it's more as respect. People don't really respect us, and we work like really hard every single day. So just to get that exposure and let other people know, hey, like we're actually this good. It kind of just like fuels us. Like we need to keep going, keep showing people that we can beat all these good teams and compete with them. So that definitely is it.
And it also comes over as like, we will use the ranking to whatever it is, but Mox still tells us we have to stay humble through it all, do our part, play hard, and keep getting better as we go.
You guys are earning every bit of that. I mean, that's a really good Wichita State team. You guys are facing a lot of good non-con teams, as you did last year. Last year you come out, 1-7. Now you're 8-1 here at the start. What's just the difference for you guys?
It's definitely not deja vu. Let's be honest.
That was rough.
I think it's also the fact that like as last year we were a young team, didn't have much leadership with Dan, but like as the season went along and we finally started winning our games, like we figured out like next season without Dan we still have a leader. We need to listen to each other, and that's where it was. Like 5 freshmen coming in last year, we didn't want to listen to anybody. We wanted to rebel, be our own person. But then this year coming in, like we really understand that if we listen to each other, we respect each other, and play as a team, like there's no stopping us.
I feel like also our team chemistry has definitely stepped up since last year. Just the way we play really well together.
And it's flipped more than just record-wise. I mean, these are some of the same teams you played last year. You look at teams like South Dakota, now Mizzou and Gonzaga, those are 2 teams you played close last year, and now you're getting another shot at them. I imagine this time entering with a bit more confidence and spark.
Oh, yeah. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
it is. It's more of a revenge. Not, I would
I'd
say
say
revenge.
Yeah,
why
revenge,
not?
yeah.
Revenge, because, like, we lost last year in overtime to Wichita, but it's fine. Came back and won, but, Kira the other one. But, why am I talking? Okay, sorry. With Mizzou, we realized we lost last year, and it's more of a revenge thing, just to beat them, and, like, respect saying, like, it's kind of a fluke, and now we're here.
Same for Gonzaga.
Kind of like a revenge tour or anything for this season, or what is it?
Yeah,
Key. Yeah, why not?
for real.
Like, when the season comes around, Illinois State, we're ready.
At the after you guys lost in the Sweet 16 last year, I think it was you and Danielle saying, you know, there's big things in store for the Lady Bears this year. Do you think, how much of that did you really know at the time, and how, like, is it kind of, was that foreshadowing, you think?
There you go. I definitely feel like she was right that there's, like, we knew we were going to be good because we lose only one player, but, like, our best player mostly, and then bringing in another player, and just as she said, we have 5 freshmen, we're young, so just us developing over the summer definitely got us better, and then our team practices got us chemistry more better, so I definitely feel like Danielle was right about how this season's going to be a good one.
Jasmine, you all really good. What does it take, you think, to get even to that next level for your team?
Just trusting the process, what Mox and the rest of the staff has in store for us, trusting each other, and just playing our own game and keep our heads up, and, like, say we have a setback, doesn't matter, we stay together as a team and we'll be successful.
Any message on the 20 turnovers, or is that too many?
We can't be all positive.
You know, they're there. That's for sure. We'll probably have to deal with that later. Yep.
Okay. I've heard Mox say a few times after games that she tells you guys that you're going to win before games. Is that something that might happen before this one? Is that just something she keeps doing, or?
Yeah, just speaking into existence. Like we've said, like we came home on home games. I don't know what's been going on with us. We just don't want to play the first half. We're so nonchalant and don't want to play our game. And then second quarter, she's like, we're going to win this game. Second half, she talks to us in halftime and she's like, we're going to win this game. Don't put your heads down, keep playing. And like, it's just a very inspirational speech, and it just makes us want to keep going and play our game and stop acting a fool, I guess.
I don't want to say it's cockiness, but how do you guys kind of see that? Does it just fire you guys up when she's saying those type of things? How do you describe her when she's saying that?
I mean, it's not like she's like screaming at us. She's just like nice and calm. Hey, like we need to get our stuff together. We need to play like as a team, as a unit. And then everyone starts chirping, yeah, we need to do this and this. So that kind of helps. And we're all just like positive. Like no one's negative. So that kind of helps a lot.
Well, that was kind of like a football game for a little bit. Super physical. First half, I didn't really like our intensity or our physicality. I think that we were getting pushed around a little bit, and Wichita State kind of punched us in the mouth, and we didn't respond until maybe like 4 minutes left in the first half. So second half, I did like how we came out, and we were riled up, and I thought we were way more physical. We played faster, started hitting shots, making layups. So I really am proud of the way we turned it around.
What do you think kind of woke them up?
I think, just a little bit of the physical play. They weren't going to back down. Just proving that they're strong too, and we can post up, we can rebound, we can get 50-50 balls. I think that kind of fired us up a little bit, and obviously in the huddles we were talking about rebounding. That's one of our biggest stats that we usually fill the sheet on, and we were getting out rebounded. So just being aggressive and physical on both ends of the floor.
They keep bringing up your halftime speeches. What's it going to take, do you think, to get this team to kind of come out here on the home court and finally play that kind of full four-quarter game that we saw kind of there in that second half?
Yeah, I think, honestly, it's a mentality of just getting hype for whoever you're playing. That's something we've been struggling with. Honestly, if we're playing Oregon State or even South Dakota or Minnesota, whoever it is, and there's a name behind them or they're an NCAA tournament team, our players are up, we're ready for those games. But if it's not a name team or maybe a team that hasn't been a name team in recent years, we just seem to come out flat. So I'm just trying to get them to kind of mature in that area and just, respect all, fear none, of course, but, be able to bring the same intensity to every game.
What
You
your
guys have-
halftime speech was like?
Perhaps Well, I mean, I'll leave that for the team in the locker room. I mean, it's nothing crazy. Honestly, I go in, if they need to be fired up, I'll fire them up, or if we just need to stick to the tactical stuff, I'll do that. But I just kind of have a good pulse on them. When I feel like we're flat, then I got to get them going, and the blessing is they respond. That's what you want as a head coach. They respond and they change. I just want to get that from the beginning of the game.
You guys have beaten some big teams, and you're 8-1 and ranked. So what is it? How's it feel right now with this team as far as just the state of the program?
I mean, confidence level is really, really high. I think it's good. It's great that we're confident. Even like when things are going bad in the first half, we couldn't make a layup. We couldn't hit shots, but our team believes we know that we can do that. So it's not like we were. Oh man, we're not going to hit a shot for the rest of the game. So we're very confident because we've been in games where we were down and come back, and we've also been in games where we were up big and just kept the lead. So I think, our team is very confident. We're happy that we're getting respect and that we're ranked, but at the same time, we're not satisfied and we're not complacent with that ranking because we know we just got to keep getting better every game. This is all preparing us to make a run in conference and then preparing us for the NCAA tournament. And I talked to them about getting a really good seed in the NCAA tournament. So you got to stay consistent. We can't have any slip ups. We can't have bad losses. And bad losses are basically RPI. Bad losses. So we just talk about that. We just talk about building our resume for postseason.
It seems like you're using some of the ranking stuff too. Just seeing you on social media and whatnot. Just kind of firing it up. Some coaches would just try to ignore that completely. How are you kind of using that?
I wouldn't say I'm using it. I use social media to get our team out there and market our team, but I wouldn't say I'm blowing it up. I just want people to know what we're doing here. At the same time, I'm always talking about staying humble and hungry. I say that to our players every single day, probably 1,000,000 times a day. They're tired of hearing it. But we from the beginning wanted to gain respect, and this is one step in gaining respect. I thought we were disrespected when we didn't have any of our players picked on the NBC preseason team, because I think we have a lot of talent on our team. We had a lot of talent last year, we have a lot of talent this year. So I just, this is just us proving ourselves and gaining respect, but it's not really like showboating at all. It's just, anything that happens, we get, we have a important dinner with a donor or something like that, or, whatever it is, we put that on social media just to kind of, get our team out there and show everybody what's going on with Lady Bears.
And it's not just like this record is flipped for the team. Obviously, the one win at the start of your last year, now it's flipped to one loss, but it's also coming against similar faces, Wichita State, South Dakota, now Mizzou and Gonzaga coming up. The players just described, they debated and landed on the word revenge a bit. Do you kind of see that fire in them, that these are teams that they lost to last year and now they're seeing the results go the other way?
Yeah, I mean, those are the words that I use, to be honest. If they beat us last year, then it's revenge. It's about, we got to get them, So, Wichita State was one, South Dakota was one. So, I mean, it is a revenge game. I think that we're better right now than we were last year. So I want to showcase that. These teams are coming in and thinking we're the same team as last year, that they're going to roll through. It's not that. We have a different kind of focus, and we're going to stay hungry. And we want to repeat last year's ending, and see how far we can go and have that magical run again. But a big goal was to not repeat the beginning from last year. And I think, that's another thing. We accomplished that by flipping that record, but we're not satisfied. But we will celebrate it. You got to celebrate the small victories along the way. I really believe in that. We celebrate when kids get an A in a class. I literally give them a Smarties. We had, Smartie candies. Throw that out. We celebrated before practice. So small victories, just keep them motivated and, let them know that I appreciate their hard work and there's some results. But at the same time, there's a lot more season to go.
Jazz really pulled up the stat line tonight. What did you see out there?
She was aggressive. Jazz is really playing. I mean, the words I said to her in the pregame talk was, we need you to play above the rim. And that's what she does. I mean, with some of those rebounds, she's skying in there, and it's really fun to watch. And our team gets super energized when she plays like that. So, Jazz is somebody who's long and athletic. She can get deflections. She can get rebounds. She can run the floor, get easy baskets. She can make post moves. There's so much she can do just to impact the game. And, she's a double-double. She should be averaging a double-double at this point. But, I just think that she did what she's supposed to do, and she really brought a spark to our team.
You really forced them to get all their points in the paint. No three-pointers tonight for them. How nice was it to be able to shut down, that outside games where they didn't get the big numbers?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the stats I talked to them about in the post-game just now, because coming in, Wichita State they just made 12 three-pointers against Oklahoma in their last game. So we wanted to make sure that, we took care of that. I mean, they're more of a downhill team. They want to get to the paint, but I mean, you have to respect what they did in their last game. So we talked a lot about the three-point line, and we gotta contest every shot. They're not gonna get any open threes, and we wanted to kind of take their confidence a little bit in that area, which I think we did a great job. But then they started getting downhill on us a little bit, and our help side wasn't always there. But for the most part, I think we did a really good job.
You said in the past in some of your post-game interviews just how you've told the team that they're going to win. The player said it was speaking it into existence. Just kind of, is it a bit of cockiness? What is it when you start telling them, hey, you guys are going to go win this game?
Well, I mean, I said that. I think I said that in the Oklahoma game for sure. I don't know if I use those words again, but I tell them. I mean, it's more like, it's not a cocky thing. It's more like, listen, we're better than this team, and this is how we're going to go win this game. So, in the Oklahoma game, I was like, I need you to understand we're winning this game, and I was trying to spark them that way. But most of the time, I go in halftime, especially the last couple games, and I'm like, we are better than this team, but we're not playing better than this team. So this is what we need to do to get to where we need to be. And then this tactical stuff, X's and O's, maybe it's the energy, maybe I need somebody off the bench to step up, whatever it is, in order for us to win the game, because I do think we're capable of winning the game. So I wouldn't say I always use those words, but I guess I'm insinuating or implying that we're going to win the game, because I do have confidence in my team. I really do. I think we're a great team. There's times we don't play that way, but that's our job as coaches. You got to get them to play.
You kind of have a longer break here. Just how do you keep them at this level?
I think managing their bodies, that's the biggest thing, especially when we started the way we started. We kind of played like a postseason tournament right there in the beginning of the season. So a lot of that has like some long-term effects. You start to get worn down, especially with the travel and all that. So just managing their bodies over this next 10 days or whatever it is before we play Mizzou. Some days off, but also they got to get in their lift, which helps with some recovery and, shooting and just keeping them fresh, especially with academics. We got to, it's finals week, so they need to obviously be focused on that. And, I think if you do too much while they're in finals and studying and all that, they just get mentally drained, physically drained. So just managing them, just doing exactly what we've been doing.
Obviously a lot of positives, but you're still striving to improve as it goes on. One area that we've talked about quite a few times that still sticks out again is the turnover category. Is it still just kind of a byproduct of the team adjusting to this kind of high-speed, high-intensity game?
Yeah, I mean, the last 3 games or so, I mean, we've had like 13 turnovers and our goal is 14 or under, really, to be honest. I mean, if you play up-tempo, 14 turnovers is not a lot. But tonight, with 20 turnovers, I was kind of disappointed in that area, and it wasn't really like forced turnovers. That's what I didn't like. I mean, we had 7 in the first quarter that were just, we gave the ball to the other team. So, yeah, I mean, it's an area that we got to continue to work on. I mean, if they're getting them in our transition game, that's a little different. That's just adjusting to the style of play. But if we're just in a half-court set and we throw it to the other team, that's frustrating for a coach. So we'll watch those and we'll get better. But I thought before this game we were making strides in that area. But, every game's different, and we just got to keep getting better.